Mr. President, I rise also in the time remaining to speak very briefly of a current issue that we're going to vote on possibly this weekend. That's the Highway Trust Fund. Georgia sent me to Washington to help solve our fiscal crisis, not make it worse. As a member of the Senate Budget Committee, I'm working every day to find smarter ways to prioritize our spending. That way we can support critical functions of the federal government like funding our national highway system. Make no mistake, I support funding infrastructure, but we must do it responsibly. Transportation is a top priority as it supports a robust economy and is one of the responsibilities that the federal government is charged with and executing under the Constitution. As we continue to debate the highway bill in the Senate, I'm committed to finding the right funding and enough funding for our critical infrastructure needs. As proposed, the highway bill authorizes spending for the next 6 years, yet only funds these programs for the next 3 years. Passing responsibility over to the next Congress to find additional funding mechanisms for the remaining 3 years is unacceptable. It's what's got us in this debt crisis in the first place. Some of my colleagues have suggested this is just simply the way the Senate has acted in the past. Yeah, I got that. Again, it's what got us here. That may be true. It doesn't make it right. I wasn't sent to Washington to accept this status quo. A serious long-term solution needs to be fully funded, Mr. President, not filled with half-empty promises that can't be kept or could add to our national debt. I'm working to find a responsible way forward in order to provide Georgia and other states with more certainty through a longer-term solution instead of settling for just another short-term fix. Today, I'm introducing an amendment to simply match the authorization period with the available funding. Sounds basic, sounds simple. It's what I have to do at home in my home budget. It's what most Americans have to do. If they don't have the money, they don't spend it. This amendment ensures that Congress is not authorizing spending programs beyond a point where there is no money to pay for them in the future. I urge my colleagues to join me in breaking Washington of its chronic overspending problem. And I urge my colleagues to support a fiscally responsible highway bill that matches the length of authorization with the funding mechanisms. That way we can continue to fund our critical infrastructure projects without compromising our conservative budget principles. Mr. President, I yield the floor, and I note the